Good morning, everyone. This is lecture number 30 of Engineering Thermodynamics. What is ideal gas equation state? We have already seen ideal gas, also the equation of state. Property table provides accurate information about the properties of the substance, but they are bulky. In case of steam, we have steam table. Steam table is called as a property table. Property table consists of the accurate data, but if you see the steam table for a different author, you may find that some values are after a third or fourth value after point is a different, because the basis of calculation for the steam table is different for the different author, or they have considered different considerations. Therefore, you may find some difference between steam tables, the values in the steam table of different authors. If you refer the steam table of R.K. Rajput, there will be some difference. If you refer the steam table of Mathur, if you refer the steam table of R.S. Khurmi, you may find that after a point, third or fourth value are slightly different. Instead, of a desirable approach would be to have simple equation that can accurately estimate the system properties. Any equation that relates the pressure, temperature, and specific volume of a substance is called as the equation of state. In ideal gas, we have seen equation. The equation is a P1 V1 by T1 is equal to P2 V2 by T2. This is the equation of state. Now this is a general equation of state, and according to the different processes, the equation of state changes. Like constant pressure process, P1 V1 P1 and P2 will be same. For constant volume process, V1 and V2 will be same. For constant temperature process, T1 and T2 will be same. Accordingly, equation will change. Now, properties of water. One point. Look at this figure, PV diagram. This is a saturation curve. This point is a critical point, and this line left on the left hand side of this critical point. This line is a liquid saturation line, and this line is a saturated vapor line. When saturated liquid line and saturated vapor line intersect each other, that intersecting point is called as a critical point. Now this is a single point, therefore one point is a critical point. It is represented by C. Two lines. There are two lines. We talked about two lines, that is liquid saturation line and vapor saturation line. Liquid saturation vapor line, liquid line, and saturation vapor line. Three regions. There are three regions. First is compressed liquid region. Second, wet region, mixture of steam and water, and third is a vapor region. Compressed water region, that is this region on the left hand side of saturation liquid line. Second, saturated mixture region, this region between saturated liquid and saturated vapor. And third is a superheated vapor. This is a vapor region. Then five states. The water can have five states from liquid to vapor. That is, first state is compressed water. Second is saturated water. Saturated water means point is on the liquid line, saturated liquid line. Then saturated mixture between saturated water and saturated vapor. This portion represents saturated mixture. Then saturated vapor. This point represents saturated vapor on the saturation vapor line. Then superheated vapor here. First is compressed liquid means liquid or the water is not in the saturated condition. It is its temperature and the pressure less than the saturated. Then second, saturated liquid, when the temperature and pressure is the saturated, at which we will mark point on the saturated water line. Then third is after saturation liquid line and before saturated vapor line, the mixture. This region represent the mixture of saturated vapor and saturated liquid. Then fourth, saturated vapor on the saturated vapor line. We will mark point on the saturated vapor line. Then fifth is superheated vapor. The temperature here, the temperature and pressure will be greater than saturated temperature. Pressure may be anything, but temperature will be greater than saturated temperature. Now important terms, how we create the steam. The heat energy required to create steam has two forms. We have already discussed. To convert water into steam, we have to supply two form of energy. That is sensible heat. Sensible heat is required to raise the temperature of compressed liquid to saturated liquid. Then we supply latent heat. To change the phase of a water into vapor. Therefore, these two form of heat is required to convert subcooled water into vapor, saturated vapor. Suppose water is saturated and we want to convert into saturated vapor. Then we required only latent heat to change the phase because it is already in a saturated condition. Then enthalpy of superheat and degree of superheat. We will see what is enthalpy of superheat and degree of superheat. First, sensible heat. Sensible heat is amount of heat energy required to raise the temperature of water from 0 degree Celsius to the boiling point. Amount of heat energy required to raise the temperature of water from 0 degree Celsius to boiling point for atmospheric condition up to 100 degree Celsius. Sensible heat raise the temperature of water and can be sensed with the thermometer. Why it is called as sensible heat? Because during supply of sensible heat, temperature changes and that temperature can be sensed by thermometer. Therefore, it is called as sensible. Consider here, this is a subcooled liquid and its temperature being raised by supplying heat. Its temperature being raised by supplying heat and the temperature come to the saturated liquid temperature. Amount of heat added during this process is called as a sensible heat. Then latent heat. The amount of heat required to evaporate 1 kg of water at saturated temperature Ts to 1 kg of dry steam at same saturation temperature at given constant pressure is called latent heat of evaporation or enthalpy of evaporation and denoted by HFG. Look at here. Suppose water is here, water is subcooled water and the water temperature is raised from subcooled temperature to saturation temperature. We need to supply sensible heat. Now water is saturated. We need to change its phase from saturated liquid to saturated vapor. Now the amount of heat required to change the phase from saturated liquid to saturated vapor is a latent heat. And during phase change, temperature and pressure remains constant. During phase change, the temperature and corresponding pressure is called as a saturation temperature and saturation pressure. Or the amount of heat energy required to transform water at a boiling point to steam. Adding latent heat does not raise the temperature. Adding latent heat means during addition of latent heat, temperature doesn't change. saturated liquid and steam have the same temperature for a given pressure. This middle portion represents the mixture of saturated liquid and saturated vapor. Both saturated liquid and saturated vapor have same temperature at corresponding pressure. What is the effect of pressure? As the saturation pressure increases, amount of latent heat required decreases. Here the saturation pressure is less. You can see this dotted line is greater than this line. This dotted line is bigger than this line. Therefore, here the amount of latent heat required will be greater. As the pressure, saturation pressure increases, the latent heat decreases and it becomes zero at a critical point. Increased pressure, if the saturation pressure decreases the amount of latent heat but increases the sensible heat. If the saturation pressure increases, saturation temperature also increases. Suppose water being compressed, water being pressurized up to 2 bar, the water will not boil at 100 degrees Celsius, it will boil above 100 degrees Celsius. As the pressure increases, saturation temperature also increases. Look at here, this is a PV diagram. Here pressure is less and here pressure is more. Suppose you want to boil, you want to convert water into steam at this point, then you need to supply this much latent heat. If you want to convert water into steam at this pressure, you have to supply this much latent heat. If you want to convert water into steam at higher pressure, then you have to supply this much latent heat. As you can see that amount of latent heat required at a higher pressure goes on decreasing, and latent heat becomes zero at critical pressure. Enthalpy of superheat. Look at here, this is a subcooled liquid. When the temperature is increased to saturated liquid, this is a saturated liquid. Now here liquid is ready to change the phase. From this point to this point, we have to supply sensible heat to raise the temperature up to a boiling point. Now here it is a boiling condition, but to change the phase from water to vapor, we have to supply latent heat. Here it is a saturated vapor and here it is a saturated liquid, and in between these 2 points it is a mixture. Here it is a saturated liquid. Therefore, the corresponding temperature at phase change is called as saturation temperature. Once the water is converted into saturated vapor, we can heat it further by adding sensible heat. Suppose at atmospheric pressure, at 1 atmosphere, water converts into saturated vapor at 100 degrees Celsius. Consider saturation temperature is 100 degrees Celsius. Now by adding sensible heat, the temperature of saturated vapor is raised to 120 degrees Celsius. Now it is a superheated vapor. Now the amount of heat required to increase the temperature from saturated temperature to superheated temperature is called as a degree or enthalpy of superheat. This portion represents enthalpy of superheat. Here heat addition means enthalpy addition. Okay, heat is added means enthalpy is increasing. This portion represents enthalpy of saturated vapor, and this point represents enthalpy of superheated vapor. The reason or the difference of this point and this point is called as a heat added for the superheated steam. Enthalpy of superheat. The amount of heat required to increase the temperature of a dry steam. Dry steam means saturated steam. To increase the temperature of dry steam from its saturation temperature to any desired higher temperature, consider it is 120 degrees Celsius, at the given constant pressure, is called amount of superheat of enthalpy. It's called amount of superheat of enthalpy of a superheat. Means the amount of heat added from saturated vapor to superheated vapor is called as a enthalpy of superheat. Now degree of superheat. Suppose the saturation vapor temperature is 100 degrees Celsius and superheat temperature is 120 degrees Celsius. The difference between superheat temperature and saturated temperature is called as a degree of superheat. In this case, superheat temperature is 120 degrees Celsius and saturation temperature is 100 degrees Celsius. Difference is 20. Therefore, degree of superheat 20 degrees Celsius. The difference between superheated and saturation temperature defined as a degree of superheat. This is superheat temperature, this is saturation temperature. The difference between these two temperatures is called as degree of superheat. Now, different states of steam. First is wet steam, second dry saturated steam, and third is superheated steam. Let us see wet steam. Wet steam, here we are talking about steam, not water. We will not consider water. Any point on this saturation liquid line represents the saturation liquid, but here we are talking about the steam. After this line between saturation vapor line and saturation liquid line, the region represents the mixture of water and vapor. This is called as a wet steam. The mixture of water and vapor is called as a wet steam. This is the first condition of a steam. When water is converted into steam, water has to go through this condition, that is a wet steam, mixture of water and vapor. Wet steam is a two-phase mixture of water molecule and steam in thermal equilibrium at the saturation temperature corresponding to a given pressure. This portion represents the wet steam. Dry saturated steam. Saturated steam is also called as a dry because in saturated steam the amount of water molecule is zero, no water molecules. On saturated vapor line, all points represents dry steam. When the water become vapor completely, now all the water molecules has been converted into vapor at saturated temperature. This condition of steam is called as a dry steam or dry saturated steam or simply saturated steam. A saturated steam at a saturation temperature corresponding to the given pressure and having no water molecules. But wet steam consists of mixture of water molecule and the saturated steam, dry steam, mixture of water molecule and dry steam. Next, superheated steam. If the temperature of the steam raised above the saturated temperature, if the temperature of steam raised above the saturation temperature here, such steam are called as a superheated steam. A superheated steam is defined as the steam which is heated beyond its dry saturation state. On this saturation vapor line, vapor is a saturated vapor. If the saturated steam is heated beyond the saturated line, then it becomes superheated vapor. Dryness fraction of a steam. Now, what is the dryness fraction of a steam? Dryness fraction means how much steam is dry. This is a liquid, saturated liquid line, and this saturated vapor line. On saturated liquid line, it is 100% water, and on saturated vapor line, it is 100% vapor. The dryness fraction of saturated water is 0 because it is 100% liquid, and dryness fraction of saturated vapor is 100%, or we can say 1 because it is 100% vapor. Therefore, saturated water or subcooled water has a dryness fraction 0, and saturated steam has a dryness fraction 100%, that is 1. But in between these two line, it is a mixture, and mixture consists of both water molecules and dry steam. Therefore, dryness fraction lies between 0 to 1 for wet steam. On saturated liquid line, it is a 0, and saturated vapor line, it is 1. As the phase transformation takes place, dryness fraction increases from 0 to 1. Suppose I am considering a middle point. Here dryness fraction is a 50%. Dryness fraction is a 50%, that is 0.5. Here may be dryness fraction 25%, 50%, 75%, 80%, 90% and 100%. It will goes from 0 to 1 or 0% to 100%. The wet steam can be of different quality. Now what is quality? Quality means how much it is a dry. Quality means how much it is a dry. That is having different portion of water molecules and dry steam. Hence the quality of steam can be indicated by using term called dryness fraction. Quality is nothing but a dryness fraction. If quality of a steam is given 80%, it means dryness fraction is 80%. Since it is a fraction, we will write 0.8. If the quality of a steam is 80%, dryness fraction is a 0.8. If the quality of steam is 90%, dryness fraction is 0.9. Dryness fraction can be defined as the ratio of mass of actual dry steam present in the known quantity of wet steam to the total mass of steam. It should be quantity. Now dryness fraction, suppose dryness fraction is 50%. How will get it is a 50%? You can see if the dryness fraction is 50%, here 50% is a dry steam and 50% is a water. The amount of dry steam divided by total mass, mass of dry steam divided by total mass is called as a dryness fraction. Therefore, dryness fraction is represented by X. And its formula is mass of dry steam present in a wet steam, mass of dry steam present in a mixture. Wet steam is mixture. Mass of dry steam present in a mixture to the total mass of wet steam. Consider mg is a mass of dry steam and mf is a mass of water. Then mixture is mf plus mg. Therefore, dryness fraction will be written as mass of vapor upon total mass, and this total mass is equal to mass of water plus mass of vapor. Identifying steam properties. To identify steam properties, we use steam table, that is called as property table. Steam table allows us to identify all of the important properties of a steam given either the steam temperature or a steam pressure. With respect to temperature and pressure, we have to identify the property of a steam from the property table. How to use the steam table? The properties of steam which are likely to be used are pressure, saturation temperature, specific volume and enthalpy. Entropy also. The properties of a steam are pressure, temperature, specific volume, enthalpy and entropy. These properties are determined experimentally at various pressure and tabulated table is known as a steam table. We'll see now saturated steam table on the saturated temperature basis. There are 3 tables. First 2 tables are for saturated condition and third table is for superheated condition. First 2 table we'll see. For this first table, which is based on saturated temperature. This is the first table of a steam table is a saturated steam table on saturated temperature basis. What is meant by saturation temperature basis? On the leftmost column there will be a temperature. On the leftmost column there will be a temperature. With respect to this temperature, the pressure given is called as a saturated pressure. According to this temperature, whatever pressure given adjacent to this is called as a saturation pressure. Now for this saturation temperature and saturation pressure, these are the properties. These are the enthalpies and these are the specific volumes. There will be entropy also. I am not showing here entropy because of the space here. Specific enthalpy. Suppose we want to calculate specific enthalpy of water. Specific enthalpy of water. Water may be subcooled water, compressed water, or saturated water. We will check the HF. We will check HF. Now HFG. HFG is a latent heat required to change the phase. HFG is the latent heat required to change the phase. Now Hg is the enthalpy of saturated steam. Hg is the enthalpy of saturated steam. Suppose we want to calculate, suppose temperature is given 50 degrees Celsius, and at 50 degrees Celsius, obviously at atmospheric pressure at 50 degrees Celsius it is a water. Then we will check the enthalpy HF. We will check enthalpy HF from steam table. Suppose water is saturated water. Water is saturated water, not a vapor nor or mixture. It is a completely saturated water at a corresponding saturation temperature or saturation pressure. For saturation water, saturated water also, we need to check HF because it is a water. From subcooled water to saturated water, we will check HF only. Enthalpy, we will check HF. For specific volume, we will check VF, and for entropy, we will check SF. If a saturated steam is given, then we will check enthalpy as a Hg. Then we will check enthalpy of a steam as Hg, specific volume as Vg, and specific entropy as Sg. If steam is a mixture of water and vapor, if it is a wet steam, then there is a formula, and that formula is a combination of HF, HFG and Hg. The formula is a combination of HF, HFG and Hg. Normally Hg is a sum of HF and HFG. Normally Hg is a sum of HF and HFG. Now next table on pressure basis. On pressure basis, on the leftmost column there will be a pressure, and temperature here will be the saturation temperature with respect to a given pressure. Suppose pressure is 1 bar and it is a saturated liquid or subcooled liquid. We will check enthalpy as a HF, entropy as a SF, and specific volume as a VF. If it is a saturated vapor, then we will check enthalpy as a Hg, specific volume as a Vg, and specific entropy as a Sg. Okay. Now it is completely depend upon the problem. In problem means numerical, temperature of a liquid may be given or pressure of a liquid may be given. Means from water to saturated vapor, we need only temperature or pressure. If the temperature is given, we can find a properties from steam table. If only pressure is given, we can find the properties of steam from steam table. But for superheated steam, we need both both temperature as well as pressure. This is a one example. This is a steam table on pressure basis. Suppose pressure of a steam or a water is 1 bar. Corresponding to this pressure, 99.6 degrees Celsius is a saturation temperature. Look at it. At 1 bar, saturation temperature is a 99.6. 1 bar is not a 1 atmosphere. 1 atmosphere is 1.01325 bar. At 1.01325 bar, temperature will be 100 degrees Celsius. Okay. It is a less than atmospheric pressure. It is 1 bar. At 1 bar, water boils at 99.6 degrees Celsius. Means phase change will take place from liquid to vapor at 99.6 degrees Celsius. This is a specific enthalpy. HF is a enthalpy of water. HFG is a latent heat required to change the phase, and Hg is a enthalpy of saturated steam. If water is given at 1 bar, we will take enthalpy as a HF, that is 417.5. If saturated steam is given, then it will be Hg. We will take Hg 2675.4. If it is a mixture, then we'll use the formula for the mixture. I will show a formula later. Entropy of wet steam or saturated steam at a given pressure or a temperature is at 1 bar it is 1.3027 kilojoule per kg Kelvin. If it is a saturated liquid or subcooled liquid. If it is saturated vapor, then entropy will be 7.3498. Specific volume for liquid 0.001043 at 1 bar, and specific volume of saturated vapor 1.6934. Now which value we have to take? It is completely dependent on the condition of the steam. If it is completely water, then we will take HF. If it is saturated vapor, then we will take Hg for enthalpy. Similarly for entropy and specific volume. But if it is a mixture of water and vapor, then we will the formula, and formula of mixture is HF plus X HFG. I will show you that formula. As I told you that Hg is a sum of HF and HFG. Hg is a sum of HF and HFG. In some table, in some steam table made by the different author, HFG may be given, may not be given. HFG in the steam table may be given, may not be given. Therefore, you should know HFG is equal to Hg minus HF. Now, property table. For most substance, the relationship among the thermodynamic properties are too complex to be expressed by simple equation. Therefore, properties are frequently represented in the form of table. Some thermodynamic properties can be measured easily, but others cannot and are calculated by using the relation between them and measurable properties. The result of these measurable and calculated calculations are represented in table in the convenient format. As enthalpy, a combination property, H is equal to U plus PV. Whatever enthalpy we are checking from the steam table is a combination of U plus PV. Okay. This is specific enthalpy per kg of steam, or per kg of water. But if you want to calculate total, then we have to multiply small h with mass, and it becomes total enthalpy. Total enthalpy is capital U plus PV. Suppose fluid is passing through a system, entering at U1 P1 V1 and leaving at U2 P2 V2, then the change in property will be final minus initial. The combination U plus PV is the frequently encountered in the analysis of controlled volume. Now look at here. This is the product of pressure and volume has energy unit. Product of pressure and volume, that is pressure is a kilopascal and volume is a meter cube, it becomes kilojoule. If the pressure is kilopascal and volume is a specific coulomb, that is meter cube per kg, then it becomes kilojoule per kg. If unit of pressure is bar and unit of volume is meter cube, then it becomes 100 kilojoule. Megapascal into meter cube equal to 1000 kilojoule. PSI into feet cube is equal to 0.18505 BTU. BTU is British thermal unit. Saturation, liquid and saturated vapor state. Now look at your table. This is a saturation table, saturation steam table corresponding with respect to the temperature or the basis of temperature, because temperature is given on the left hand side. At 85 degrees Celsius, saturation pressure is 75.868 kilopascal. If we talk about the bar, it is 0.57 bar. Means at 85 degrees, suppose you want to boil water at 85 degrees Celsius, the pressure should be 0.57 bar. If you want to boil water at 90 degrees Celsius, the pressure should be 0.7 bar. If you want to boil water at 95 degrees Celsius, the pressure should be 0.84 bar. Now in the steam table, these temperatures, pressure and these values represents something, that is, this temperature is a saturation temperature, and corresponding this saturation temperature, this is a saturation pressure, or we can say corresponding saturation pressure on these temperatures. Now saturated liquid Vf represent the specific volume of a liquid and Vg represents specific volume of a vapor. Vf is a specific volume of saturated liquid. Vf is a specific volume of saturated liquid. Vg is a specific volume of saturated vapor. Suppose you want to calculate Vfg. Vfg is not given in any steam table. Vfg is not given in any steam table, but we should know what is Vfg. Vfg is the difference of Vg and Vf. Vfg is equal to Vg minus Vf. Enthalpy of evaporation, that is HFG. HFG in some table HFG is given, in some table HFG is not given. That is, it is depend upon the author. Different steam table of a different author may have HFG or may not have. Therefore, you should know the relation for HFG. Enthalpy of HFG is also called as a latent heat or enthalpy of evaporation. Latent heat of evaporation or enthalpy of evaporation. The amount of energy needed to evaporate a unit mass of saturated liquid at a given temperature or pressure. At a given temperature or pressure, or we can say at a saturated temperature or saturated pressure, the amount of it is required to change the phase or to evaporate the water into vapor. It's called as a latent heat.